Okay, hello everyone. So today I'm going to be teaching you guys a workshop on.
Standing in front of me.
Oh,
Don't interrupt. Start over.
no, it's okay. I'll have to start over. Everyone say hello to my professor.
Hello, Professor.
Okay, so today I'm going to be teaching you guys how to manage conflict in the workplace, but this workshop is actually targeted towards soon-to-be college graduates. So it's important for soon-to-be college graduates to learn about this stuff because once they get into professional workplace setting, they're going to be needing to know how to professionally collaborate with their team members. So throughout this workshop, I will be explaining the types of conflict, how to manage conflict, the different types of conflict styles, and then I will be giving you guys handouts where you have multiple choice, what's the word? Options, thank you. Multiple choice options where you get to choose the answer, and then we can go over it. And then at the end, I have a very fun role play exercise where some of you guys can volunteer, or if none of you volunteer, I'll pick, and then you guys can do that. So the first type of workplace conflict is relationship conflict. And this is a disagreement in the workplace that results from different personalities. So an example of this could be tension between coworkers who express themselves kind of differently. So that could be the silent treatment. So if someone is just ignoring you, someone may be like, hey, that's not the type of way to handle conflict, and that causes conflict. So the next type of conflict is task conflict, and this is a disagreement among team members over how to get a job done. So task conflict can actually decrease workers' satisfaction. And surprisingly, task conflict is actually a good thing, because if people are expressing how they think something should be done, it means that they're trying to work towards a common goal with you. But of course, not everybody agrees on how to get something done. So next is process conflict, and this is similar to task conflict, but it is a disagreement about management style. So an example of this could be teammates may disagree on whether to make a decision based on group consensus or through just a single individual, making a decision for everyone. Next is identity conflict, and this occurs when someone treats someone differently than how they see themselves. So an example of this could be, John gets a promotion and he gets a new office, but the office is a lot smaller than his subordinates' offices. And so he's kind of like, hey man, I have more authority. Why is my office smaller? So next I'll be talking about managing conflict and the different types of styles that there are. So the first way to manage conflict is to look at the STLC model, and this stands for stop, think, listen, and communicate. So first, it's important to stop and let ourselves relax so that we can think about our emotions before we say anything, where things start, getting kind of too overblown, and then we say things that we don't mean, and then the conflict is much harder to resolve. So next, it's important to think. We need to, gather our thoughts and think about how do we approach the conflict, what solutions are there, how can we negotiate with the people that we're working with. Next is listening. This is a really important one for me. Listening is important because it allows everybody to have a voice when trying to find a solution to the problem. Next is communicating. We can't fix a conflict if we're not participating and communicating and trying to resolve the issue. Next is fractionation, and this is the technique of breaking down the conflict into simpler, more manageable pieces so that you can actually find focus on the main issue at hand. Because if you're just focusing on, well, this person said this and this person said this, you're not going to actually look at the real issue that you're trying to solve. Next is considering the other person's point of view. Everybody has a different perspective on the conflict. So it's really important that we, put ourselves in other people's shoes so that we can kind of see how they're feeling. And when you do this, you can actually build, a better relationship with that person. And you can also find mutually beneficial solutions that you may not have seen before. So next, I'll be talking about conflict management styles. We all have one, depending on the context of the conflict at hand. So the first one is avoiding. Every single person has avoided a conflict before. This is when you ignore or withdraw from the conflict and you kind of just let it fester and grow. And a lot of people use this type of style when they are scared. They're scared that they're going to make it worse, or they don't know how to make it better. Next is the compromising style. And this is a solution that partially satisfies everyone. So everyone feels kind of okay about it. They're not very satisfied, but they're kind of okay. But that leads to not, feeling great about it. So the conflict can come up later on. Next is the collaborating style, and this is my favorite. This is when you try to find a win-win solution for everyone. The only issue with this one is that it's really time consuming because you have to go back and negotiate with everyone and figure out what do you want? What do you want? What do you want? And that takes a long time because it's a lengthy process. Next is the accommodating style, and this is when people set aside their own needs to make someone else feel fully good, great to go. But this can lead to dissatisfaction and a lot of resentment because you aren't, your needs aren't fulfilled. And so people start to feel dissatisfied. Next is the competing style. This is when there is a attempt to gain power. My point of view is the only right one, and my solution is the only right one. So that kind of makes conflict not that makes no room for conflict to be solved because you're not allowing yourself to, take other, ideas into consideration. So next, I have some handouts for you guys, and I'm going to give you guys the multiple choice exercise handout. Let me make sure I have 1, 2, 5, and you guys can just pass this down, and then I'll give you guys some pens and you guys can fill that out. And then once you guys are all finished, we'll all go over it.
You're supposed to read this right now?
Yes.
Yeah.
And select our answers.
Oh shit, I didn't see.
It's okay if you guys don't get them right. We'll go over them at the end.
Done.
Done. See.
Whoa, slow down.
You have my name on this?
Yes.
What period are we
You
in?
don't need to put your name on it.
I'm
Should you
teasing.
date it?
I'm teasing.
Oh, that's this
What's the name of the professor?
It's Blue's birthday today. Her birthday. All right.
You're done.
Wait, Emily's still finishing. Yeah, I'm a slow reader.
Okay, awesome.
Are we turning it?
Yes.
3 questions.
Actually, I'm gonna actually have you guys hold on to this so you guys can reflect on your own answers.
Oh.
Michelle, do you remember your answers pretty well?
Yeah.
Okay, sweet. Here, Dad, hold on to this. So I'm gonna read it out loud so that my professor can hear the questions. So the first one, Megan is in an argument with her coworker and feels very angry. It is a very big conflict and it is preventing the two employees from getting work done. Her boss decides to intervene and help break down the conflict and simplify it so that the employees are able to find a solution. This is an example of fractionation. This is when you break down the conflict so that you can actually focus on the main issue at hand.
Did I get it right?
You did get it right.
Thank you.
Bro, you guys are listening too much.
Okay, number two. There is a group meeting occurring within the workplace. Each member gives everyone a chance to speak. Nobody's over talkative and takes away a chance for others to contribute to the conversation. Each person is quietly focusing on the person speaking without interrupting. What step are these group members practicing from the SLTC model?
Listening.
Yes, listening.
Nice. Let's go.
Each person,
Give me a second.
I was listening.
okay, each person is giving everyone a chance to talk and contribute, ideas to the group, and this makes everyone feel heard. It's very important that you feel heard because it makes people want to contribute to the discussion, and that leads to more innovative, problem
This
solving.
feels like an HR meeting.
Okay, pay attention.
What do you think?
Next question. Jenny is angry that her boss decided to give her coworker the promotion rather than her. At first, Jenny is really angry and can't believe that her boss would do that because she feels that she deserved the spot. After some time, Jenny began to understand that her boss was only doing what they thought was the right thing for the company and that it wasn't personal. Jenny put herself in her boss's shoes and thought about how hard this decision must have been. This is an example of a,
Considering the other person's viewpoint.
yes, thanks, Dad.
Straight student right here.
When you put yourself into someone else's shoes, you can actually think about their thought process, and that can actually help you build more compassion and empathy before you blow something out of proportion. Awesome. Yeah, you guys can hold on to these.
I got 100%.
Yes, you got 100%.
I missed the first one.
Me too.
I thought it was. Solid G.
Okay. So the next exercise I have is role playing. So you guys will choose one of these three conflict types and act them out. There's a script here already for you, so you guys don't need to take a lot of time coming up with your own script.
Are you gonna volunteer us who's doing?
So if not enough people are volunteering, then yes, I'm gonna pick one of you guys. So who wants to role play?
Sure. Is it pairs?
Yes, two. I'm gonna have each person.
Yeah.
I'm baby blue.
I need to listen.
I will.
I will, okay.
You did such a good job before. We are.
You and Emily?
We're gonna volunteer.
Okay. So you guys can choose one of these. And then come up and perform it for the audience, but don't let them know which one you're performing, they're gonna have to
Oh, you
guess
have to
it.
guess what
Yes.
conflict is.
Yes.
Got it.
How many of these are there?
There's three.
Alright, okay, so because we went first, we're gonna pick the shortest of them.
Okay.
So I'll be Jasmine and you be Riley. Okay. Well, you're first, so. Riley, I'm promoting you to sales manager and giving you a new office. This is your new office.
It's not as big as I thought it would be, considering I'm the new sales manager. I should have had a much larger office than the representatives I manage. Does Jasmine not take me seriously?
Which kind of conflict is this?
Oh, Christmas.
Wait, sorry, wait.
This is the exact example that Madisyn gave us.
Fractionation?
Fractionation.
It's a type of conflict, remember the types of conflict
SLTC.
it's not from your multiple choice, it's.
No.
Communicating.
It's not from,
Oh, I'm
It's
failing.
the type of conflict.
Identity.
Wow.
yes,
Wow,
very
Diane.
Yeah, I got it.
awesome,
Cool, so who's next?
okay, I'm gonna, yeah,
More volunteers.
how about you, no,
Alright.
you go,
Come on, Ron.
You gotta tell us
so
who you
you can
are.
pick. The different
We
one,
already did the first.
You're Karina, I'm Jake.
Let's do it.
make sure you guys are in the,
Oh, yeah.
Are we in
say the
frame?
name, sir.
yeah, make sure you're in frame,
Alright.
Here we go.
That's
good job, okay, thank you.
There is a group meeting I will be attending next week with the other hiring managers, and I should decide who is going to be hired.
I believe that we should decide on a group consensus rather than a single individual.
Well, it would be much easier and quicker if one person decided who will be hired.
I don't think it's very fair if only one person in the meeting gets to decide who will be hired. I think agreeing as a group is most effective.
What conflict are we?
Oh, it's not.
Is it, is process?
Yes, wow, very good.
Right on. All right,
Can we do the last one?
You guys were the last one. You guys are doing great.
No, James hasn't gone yet.
You're right.
You get to go.
Yeah.
I'll do twice.
You got voluntold.
Oh,
I'm Randy, you're Mary.
Okay, this is
All right,
hard.
we'll do this one.
okay.
We have been assigned to complete and write a report on how many products we have sold over the past 5 months.
Okay, let's start by counting on our own sales of products per month. We can then add them together and write the report.
I think it would be much easier if one of us counts both our sales per month and the others write the report.
I don't think that's very fair if one person only has to count and the other has to write up a huge report.
Well, I think this is the easiest way.
I mean,
What kind of conflict is this?
Oh, is it?
It rhymes with ask.
Pass.
Very good.
Uh,
Thank you all for listening to my presentation.
Some of us listen better than others.
I can tell. So thank you guys for listening to my presentation on managing conflict in the workplace. I hope that you guys can, take some of these concepts and apply them to your own life.
It was very well done.
Please give her a good grade, she needs it.